All right. Matt, the mortgage guy. In today's video, this is going to be a little bit different of a video. This is going to be an interactive video where I'm genuinely asking for feedback. I want to hear from people across the country. What is happening in your market? And I specifically want to hear from people that are paying attention. Either you're a buyer and you've been looking and you've been putting in offers. You're a real estate agent. You've been helping clients submit offers, but I want to hear from boots on the ground, people that are actively involved in the trenches. What are you seeing in your current market? So before I jump into it, if you would like, comment, subscribe, do all the thing that the YouTube algorithm likes. I'm going to share a video that is a couple weeks old, but I like it. One, because it talks about my home market, Sacramento, California, but two, it reiterates what I think a lot of people are seeing, a quote unquote normalizing of the market, quote unquote cooling, like the name of this piece. And the funny part is I want to make this video because although I've seen a little bit of the frenzied buying cool down, March and April was absolute bonkers, and it was near impossible for someone to get a house. That was when we were seeing records being broke for 33 offers, 47 offers. I think national news was made of a house in Sacramento and the amount of offers it got. But are you still seeing that in your market? And I'm going to preface that by saying, as much as some of the data has showed a little bit of a slowdown, and the data has shown that these frenzied buyers have either stepped out of the market, cooled off, whatever, word you want to use, normalizing, it still feels really competitive in Sacramento. I still feel like my buyers, who are all over California, but more so in Sacramento, the market that I actually live in, and it still feels really competitive for them. I still have buyers putting in offers $50,000 above ask, waiving all contingencies, not getting an offer accepted. So I'm going to play some snippets from this just because I enjoy the Sacramento shout out, and then ask that you leave your comments below. Let me know what's going on in your specific market, what thoughts, ideas, or things you want to put out there.
I was on your site, by the way, great site. I was on your site earlier before the show because I want to find a house. And I looked in California.
Real quick, this is the CEO of Redfin. In case you were wondering, when he says I was on your site, he means he was on Redfin. Let me turn this up too. This seems like it's not very loud. Oh, mercy.
Sacramento. And I'm not knocking the house. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1,100 square feet, listed at $389. It had sold 18 months ago for $255.
$389 is in a cheaper part of Sacramento. So that doesn't surprise me that 1,100 square foot house is selling for $389. But his point is that it sold for $250 X number of months ago, and now it's gone up to $389, which is quick math. 250 to 389. Is that like a 60% increase, 50 to 60% increase in price in only a year?
And didn't appear to have any renovation inside. I mean, have you ever seen a market like this? Even 2007?
You remember how long I've been in this market? I've done this for 16 years and I've never
both.
seen like this. So, especially in places like Sacramento, where people are fleeing the big city, they're willing to take longer commutes because they're only going into the office once a week or once a month, or not at all. And so properties are being bid up in the center of the country, and that starts in Sacramento. So you nailed it.
We're not in the middle of the country, P.S. We're in California, which is kind of near what you would call the West Coast. Anyhow, go on.
Well, sometimes a blind squirrel can find a nut as well, but I did happen to take a peek at where people were moving. My point is this: what kind of traffic are you seeing on your site? I mean, you are a leading indicator. If traffic goes up, home buying and home renting demand is going to heat up, because the first thing you do is look at a Redfin and figure out where you might want to look. What are you seeing right now, Glenn?
Well, the market was very hot through April, and then starting in Memorial Day, we saw demand take a step back. People went to graduations. They went on family trips. They just resumed normal life. And now in July and especially August, we are starting to see more sales come through. So it is not necessarily more demand. It's just actually more supply. Sellers have started to sense that there may have been a local peak at least. And so They are listing the home in a hurry.
Whether you like Redfin or not, whether you like this guy or not, I pay attention to the people that have the best analytics. These folks, Redfin, are a fintech company. They have got analytics up the wazoo. So when he speaks and he talks about trends, I believe personally that this is somebody you want to listen to, somebody who's actually got hard data. This is who we have searching our sites. This is what they're searching. They're able to look on the back end and know exactly where the search is up and what's going on with buyer behavior, right?
We are getting more listings out there. And as a result, it's just easier to put together deals and we're getting more sales. And so June was a little softer. It almost returned to a normal market. And now July and early part of August, it's heating up again.
Yeah, and you're seeing things, no contingencies. I will forego an inspection. I will pay all cash. Or I saw a house listed, only all cash offers would even get a tour of the house. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we're starting to see right now. How long, Glenn, do you think this truly can last?
Well, I think it can last a little while longer yet because the people who are moving from California were paying $2 million for a house there, and they're going to Ohio. So an $800,000 house seems cheap. Home prices in Idaho could triple and seem like a deal. People are using monopoly money from coastal cities to buy properties in the center of the country. And the reason that folks don't want to risk an appraisal, don't want to take borrowed money is because they know the appraisal is going to come in low relative to all the bids. And so there is no check.
This is somewhere where I'm going to slightly disagree, where like the main driver of home prices going up is because people from coastal cities with big barrels full of cash have quote unquote monopoly money and could just bid things up. Because people tell me this all the time in Sacramento, being an hour and a half from San Francisco, the Bay Area. Oh, it's all the Bay Area buyers that are driving up traffic and they're driving up home prices. Not necessarily. And it's really not even cash buyers, because cash buyers make up 15%. That number might be up from 11 or 12%, but that number sure as heck isn't 50% of buyers. I just think that, there is very little supply, and that supply demand imbalance still exists. There wasn't enough building during the last decade. And the stats show that if you have 10 to 12 million homes built, during certain periods, and then you only have 6.5 million built during the last 10 years, that's going to, less homes built and more households being formed is a recipe for supply versus demand imbalance, right? And so I think it's a lot of factors, not just that we have cash buyers and people from the coast, are rich and have barrels full of money to go out there and, pay double what the house is worth in a state like Idaho. So anyhow, on
reality for the cash buyer, what they bid is what they pay because the lender doesn't have to underwrite it. So that's why the market has been a little bit bonkers. But I do think we are starting to see just a little bit of cooling in prices. About 5% of listings had a price drop over the past few weeks. That is a high for 2021. It has approached 2019 pre-pandemic levels. So the market is starting to normalize.
That was some good news at the end, and we'll leave it at that, is that, the market is starting to normalize. 5% of listings saw price drops. I think, like I've said in other videos, that has to do with sellers and their agents kind of thinking that upward trajectory would keep going forever and kind of pinned the original price too high and had to bring it down. But anyhow, good stuff. I want to hear from you. What's going on in your specific market? What are you seeing? Have we seen, the peak of insanity in March and April of this year? Does it start to feel like it's cooling off? Are things able to, more able to get accepted? I would love to hear from agents who are working with buyers, because I've got my own opinions and my own insight from personal buyers who I have pre-approved, who are out there shopping, putting in offers, what they're seeing, what's going on with them. I would love to hear what's going on in other parts of the country. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the kind words, all the feedback. If you're in California looking for mortgage advice, matt@mattthemortgageguy.com. If you're outside of California looking to get connected with a great mortgage broker, go to greatmortgagebroker.com. Quick 6 questions, connect you with a great mortgage broker. Lastly, Mortgage 101 is live. I'm going to leave a link in the description to mortgage course I put together, 12 videos that are no doubt going to help you, whether you're a first-time buyer, whether you're a seasoned investor, whether you just want to get a better idea of how mortgage works because you're refinancing and you don't want to be taken to the cleaners. Check the course out. I would love feedback on that. As you would expect a full refund if you're not completely satisfied. So thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.